What up, Saints? Good morning. I'm driving in the car again, so excuse the noise or the audio. As you can see on the screen, I got the word homosexuality up, and I want to talk about really just sexual morality as a whole, but more specifically, homosexuality. And I'm going to talk about some things I've talked about before and touch on a little bit of everything. But the main point of this is to say how homosexuality is being used by the enemy and how it's been pulled away from, I'll say, the sin list, the list of sins. Like, it seems, or it could seem as though, believers or non-believing religious people single out and attack homosexuality. But I believe part of the reason why is because the homosexuality community or the world as a whole, or Satan or whatever, has pulled it out of the sin list. See, when you read the scripture and it goes over like all these sins and like none of these shall inherit the kingdom and blah, 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 so on and so forth. It has everything on there. Drunkards, murderers, adulterers, extortioners, and homosexuality or sexual morality. All of this is put together as sin. But what the world has done is removed homosexuality from that. And I want to just talk about the logic behind that for a second. Like, there's this whole thing about coming out and how brave and courageous you are because you've let the world know, you've let your family know that you're a homosexual and you're not going to hide it, right? And, you're applauded for that. You're, a hero. I've always felt like a woman inside, so now I'm going to live my life as a woman. Like that Bruce Jenner dude. And now you're a hero for that. And what the world doesn't see is that you're applauding something that is very evil. Right? And so here's the logic. Because if you put homosexuality and sexual morality amongst the other sins, as you should, then imagine for a second a murderer going to his parents and sitting his parents down and saying, "Mom and Dad, I'm a murderer. I enjoy murdering people. And I want you to accept me for who I am. I'm a psychopath. I like to, hunt people down, kidnap them, torture them, murder them. And I want you to accept me for who I am." That would be crazy. Right? Well, Mom and Dad, I'm a thief. I steal from everybody. I enjoy stealing. I stole something from y'all already and y'all don't even know as soon as I got here. I want you to accept me for who I am. And then the world applauds this person. You're a hero. You're a murderer, and you're not ashamed. You're going to live your life as a murderer. And they have murderer pride parades. See where I'm going with this? The logic behind it is completely foolish. And the world knows that the logic is completely foolish, but they have took sexual immorality, especially homosexuality, away from sin. Now, so it's this thing that's okay. But if you keep it there, it's absolutely absurd and foolish. And sexual immorality especially homosexuality, is the only sin that presents itself as not a sin and has effectively presented itself as not a sin. The murderer knows that his murdering is wrong, and he's going to hide it. He's going to sneak and do it. The thief knows that their stealing is wrong, so they're going to hide it, right? Even something as simple as a liar, you're going to hide it. It's what, you know. But with the sexual morality, the homosexuality, it's living now as though it's not wrong. It used to be, but now Satan has effectively made it not wrong. And so now you see people like, it needs to be accepted. This is their mindset. You need to accept it. And, you know, so on and so forth. These people shouldn't have to feel shame. They should have to feel shame. Just like the murderer should have to feel shame. Just like the thief should have to feel shame. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of shame. You know, the Bible even says if a believer is just cutting out and sitting and won't turn away from it and won't hear godly counsel, that you should leave this person alone. You don't even eat with this person. And the reason it says that is it says so that they'll feel shame, and their shame will lead to their repentance. But we want everybody else to feel shame. We want all the other sinners to feel shame. But homosexuality, they shouldn't feel shame. Why? Because you've been made to believe, or the world has been made to believe, that there's nothing wrong with it. And so when believers are saying, hey, this is wrong, the response is, well, you're singling out homosexuality. No, you've singled it out by pulling it away from all the other sins and saying it's not a sin. And all we're saying is, yes, it is a sin. And now it's an attack on the children. Because once they get the world to accept something and they make it innocent, then they can put it on the children. It's all a satanic plot. I was not too long ago trying to buy my daughter some shorts. And you know how hard it was for me to find some shorts that weren't like booty shorts, super small, and these are for little girls. Now, once upon a time in America, little ripped up booty shorts, that was clothes for whores, for whorish women. Not even adult women would wear that, because they were clothes for whorish women. But through media and propaganda and sexual immorality, the world is made to believe, oh, it's cute. No, it's not cute. The purpose of it is to be sexy, to entice. It was whorish. But now the world has been made to accept it. So now when the adult women are doing it, it's still not right for children, but it's okay for adult women, and it's normal. But then after it gets normalized, then a generation later, now you can give it to the children. So now the children are wearing ripped up little booty shorts, which was once even whorish for an adult to wear. What was effectively lingerie once upon a time is now okay for children to wear. And this is how foolish the world is. If they normalized, if 2 generations from now they effectively normalized lingerie as regular clothing, then 2 generations after that, they can get little kids to wear lingerie and nobody would bat an eye. And that sounds crazy, but it's no crazier than what's already happened. Because these little booty shorts were essentially lingerie once upon a time. All these tight clothes and what's that word? Scantily clad. I always thought that word was funny. And now they're doing the same thing with sexual immorality. Now that they've normalized it, they're putting it on the children now. It's wrong for you to give your children a gender. If you have a son, it's wrong for you to say that he's a boy. He doesn't know what he is yet. Yes, he does. He's a boy. God gave him a penis. He's a boy. Hold on, my phone is... Okay, sorry about that. It's that movie, I Am a Boy, Damon. But no, they're even trying to pass laws in some states that say if you're a child wants to have a sex change, they can do it without the parent's consent, and that the parent they're going to label it abuse. If the parent says, the boy thinks he's a girl because he's been brainwashed, and the parent is like, no, you're not a girl, and you're not living your life as a girl, and you're not wearing girl clothes, we're going to label that as abuse. And where this is, it's really all headed to the next step in sexual morality, and that's pedophilia. It's pedophile season. Keep an eye out for it. I would almost guarantee you that within a few generations, pedophilia will be okay. In this country, it's already okay in other places. It'll be okay in this country. They're trying to normalize it already right now. Trying to get you used to seeing adults children in adult situations. They'll have all these movies where, like these are teenagers. They're actually adults, but they're acting as teenagers in high school, and there's, sex and nudity and drug use and sexual themed situations. And you're watching it, or hopefully you're not, but if you're watching it, you're looking at what is essentially teenagers. Or they'll do it as jokes, it'll be like a little girl making a joking sexual comment to an adult male. There was a movie, I didn't see the movie, but a grown woman turned into like a 12-year-old girl. So she was still a grown woman, but in a 12-year-old girl body, and she was flirting with the adult. And it's supposed to be funny because it's actually a grown woman, but what you're seeing is this little 12-year-old girl sexually flirt with an adult. You're seeing it in joke form. It's the same thing they did with homosexuality. It was like just jokes on TV or whatever, and it wasn't anything actually sexual happening, but they normalized it through TV. They're doing it right now with pedophilia. I would almost guarantee you not too long from now, the age of consent is going to drop. They already got that NAMBLA, that Man-Boy Love Association group or whatever. Satan is all about pedophilia. These people is pedophiles. The Hillary Clinton and all them just got caught up with that. You know, I don't watch too much of the news, but it was a big deal, and they just kind of swept it all away. And they brought Michael Jackson back out, so people will focus on Michael Jackson, and they brought R. Kelly back out, so people will focus on R. Kelly instead of focusing on this big thing where they just got caught with this big pedophilia ring, But that's what they're working on right now. And they're going to try to normalize it. Just like Rome, at the end of Rome, homosexuality started to run rapid. And then pedophilia came shortly after that. Watch and pray. Keep your guard up. Pray for your children. And do the best you can to protect your children from this world. This world is wicked. All that's in the world is the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. That right there explains homosexuality just right there. The lust of their eyes, the lust of their flesh, and they pride. How you want to be proud of something that's wicked? I got no issue with the person who struggles with homosexuality as far as they have some a desire in their flesh for a person of the same sex, but they acknowledge that it's wrong, and their goal is to overcome their flesh, even if they fall and slip into it. I got no issue with that person, because their struggle is no different than any other person who struggles with whatever the sin of their flesh is, whatever their brand of sexual immorality is. Just because one person is looking at a woman and lusting in his heart, and this man is looking at another man and lusting in his heart, y'all both are practicing a form of sexual immorality. So in that regard, I'm not going to single out the homosexual just because they're doing something that I think is weird, or that I don't understand, or I'm not affected by that spirit. But for the world and for the ones who try to say it's not wrong, that's where the problem is. That's where the problem is. Because it is wrong. And they're trying to raise our kids to think that it's not wrong. It is wrong, just like everything else that's wrong is wrong. You can't support it. The same way you wouldn't support a serial killer or a thief or whatever. You'd be like, no, this is wrong. If you want to support the person trying to overcome their wrong deeds, that's fine. But just to say that it's not wrong, nope. Sexual immorality is running rapid. It's running rapid. And they got this plastic surgery now, running rampant. They want to shame you with everything, really, if for nothing else to make a profit off you, but there's spiritual wickedness beyond that involved. They want to tell you ugly and sell you something to make you better. They want to tell you stink and tell you something to make you smell better. They want to tell you your hair is jacked up and sell you something to make your hair better. They're shaming you in order to become consumers of their product. But where this is really going is they're trying to make everybody look the same. Pretty soon, you ain't going to be able to tell an actual woman from a man as a woman, because both the real woman and the man, the fake woman, both got the same plastic surgery. So the real woman look jacked up, and they trying to tell you that it's pretty, You know, this Kardashian and whoever else, they face looks ridiculous, puffed up like they done got beat up, lips look all crazy, booty look weird. You know what I'm saying? But if the woman and the man both got the same fake face and fake hair and fake breast and fake booty, you ain't gonna be able to tell them apart in a minute. And it ain't like it look good, so why are people doing it? Because you look ridiculous. I ain't never seen a man look at a woman with the plastic surgery face and be like, man, she pretty. We all say she look crazy. So why are they doing it? It's a satanic agenda. At some point, it probably ain't gonna be no more man and woman or male and female. It's just gonna be whatever it is. I don't know. Hopefully, I ain't around to see it, but I'm seeing it happen. Anyway, I just got to work, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut up now. And I know y'all already know this, everything I'm sitting in, but just watch and pray. We can't really do too much to stop what the world is doing. All this stuff is already written. But, you know, for your own self and for your family, you know, especially if you got children, don't let the world teach your children. Don't let your world teach your children that this sexual morality is okay, that homosexuality is okay. It's not okay. And someone trying to convince you that it is okay is no different than if you took any other sin off that list and then tried to convince me that it's okay. Heck, even for drunkards, families have interventions because the drunkard is destroying himself. Even if he ain't harming nobody else, he's destroying himself. And so the family has an intervention to let them know, hey, what you're doing is wrong. Anyway, love y'all. God bless y'all. I know I was kind of all over the place, but man, this world is sick. But God has saved us from this world. Our own flesh is sick, cursed with sin. But God has made us new creatures. The flesh is going to be judged according to the law. That's what the law is for the flesh. The flesh is wicked. Once you break one piece of the law, you done broke the whole law. You're guilty of the whole law. So y'all keep preaching Christ, man. Because that's the only way somebody is going to be reborn and escape the judgment of the flesh. Because they're going to have a new body. And they're going to be judged by that new creature that they've been made. And that new creature cannot sin because the seed of God remains. The flesh is going to sin, but the new creature cannot. Amen. Love y'all.